Yep. Back at it.
Dudes, what is up, man? I hope you like my polo. Kind of like polos a little bit. Kind of complements the frame a little. But anyways, haven't made a video in a long time, and I figured I'd go ahead and just make a quick video to explain my channel disappearing and being wiped during the purge. So I just finished filming. I have a whole new video completely filmed and everything. It's, really, well done. It's going to have a lot of production and editing to it. And it was a video about abortion. And today I was getting ready to I sat down on my computer to get ready to edit it, and I saw in my messages a fan of my channel had messaged me saying, "Hey man, your channel's gone." And I was like, "What?" But that was the day that YouTube purged all those channels, and supposedly because of Crowder and his little slap fight with some gay boy on Twitter, some gay Vox journalist. Before I even knew that there even was a slap fight between Crowder and some guy over Twitter, I got up some morning and then all of a sudden my channel and a whole bunch of other channels were just gone at the flip of a switch. And they want us to believe that they did this because Steven Crowder was making homophobic jokes in his videos against this poor Vox journalist who goes by the name of Gay Wonk. And so what did they do as a result? Well, they announced they're going to go after flat earthers, which, I think flat earth stuff is stupid and it's pointless. They went after Holocaust deniers, which, that's basically any form of World War II or Holocaust revisionism in any form. And they also said that they were going to go after Sandy Hook conspiracies. That was the main one. It was also reported that even the channels of history teachers who had stock footage of Hitler speeches on their channels were also taken off. So now if you type in Hitler speeches on YouTube, all you'll get is the allowed generic archive channels like British Path and History Speeches, where they do the History Channel thing where they'll take speeches but they won't ever let them have subtitles, and they'll take snippets of it of Hitler ranting and out of context, and they won't have any subtitles on it, and then they'll have like a title like Hitler ranting at a speech, kind of like what History Channel would always do. You notice how they would always have just a quick snippet of him, and of his speech where he looks like he's ranting like crazy, and they'll just show like that 5-second snippet, but they won't have any subtitles on it to make him look crazy. And they want us to believe that they did this over Steven Crowder and his homophobic jokes. What does any of that stuff have anything to do with Steven Crowder, who's a milquetoast, neocon, Zionist conservative? Him making gay jokes is the reason why they went after history teachers and removed their channels, because of the archive footage that they had of Hitler. Used to, when you went into Google and you typed in Hitler speech, you would find videos like the Hitler speech that they didn't want you to hear, which is the speech that he made declaring war on the United States. And the reason why that speech is so interesting, that was one of the first really major red pill things to me, was watching that video, because what Hitler explains in that speech, it's as if he went into a time machine and started explaining everything about our foreign policy in the Middle East today. When I first started my channel, basically I would just make like these little mini documentaries that I would make with the YouTube editor, and I'll do some on Movavi editor, which I still use today, where basically I just put snippets together and put it together in a timeline and make it like sort of like a mini documentary. That's how I would make them. And I would mainly make them about Libya and Syria. Libya was a very eye-opening thing to me. That was the thing that really got me into politics, because the corruption was so in your face, like everything was all over the internet, and the news media was completely ignoring it. All the stuff about us arming terrorists, all this stuff, it could be verified just with the Google search, but yet all of the mass media was completely ignoring it. And that was why Libya was such a red-pilling thing for me, is because it was just so out in the open. It was so obvious. And then later on, I went down a rabbit hole and got into international Zionism and then eventually World War II revisionism. And then I started face fagging and actually recording my voice in videos. And one of the biggest videos I did was a critique of Tree of Logic, where I would nitpick her debate, her really stupid debate that she had with David Duke, where she basically, the way she set the debate was, you have a round, in each round you'd have David Duke go first, and then Tree of Logic would respond, and then they would have the dialogue section, which was the third section, where they both talk at the same time. And so basically what she would do is, like, David Duke would, lay out his arguments, and then she would throw out a bunch of, like, shit like all these statistics and stuff like that, which are proven in my videos. You can still watch them on Bitchute. That she completely twists all her statistics and everything. And then in the back and forth section, where David Duke had a chance to respond to her, the whole time she just screamed over him like a fucking maniac. And that was her big gotcha, I beat David Duke moment. But if you can still watch my breakdown on YouTube, on Bitchute, where I completely pick apart where she misrepresents information and statistics. And I even got Mark Collette commenting on the video. And that's the thing about smaller channels like mine. The only way you can get big is if you get noticed by a bigger YouTuber like Mark Collette. Because YouTube and Facebook admit that they do completely control how much channels like mine get to reach. They manipulate my reach and everything like that. So that's my only chance of getting popular, is if I get picked up by some guy who's already popular. And that was a huge moment for me. But then that's when all my videos started getting mass flagged. And eventually all 3 parts of that series got flagged. And that was a huge moment for me. But then that's when all my videos started getting mass flagged. And eventually all 3 parts of that series got flagged. And that was a huge moment for me. But then that's when all my videos started getting mass flagged. And eventually all 3 parts of that series got flagged. Every time I would upload a video, it would get put in restricted mode within an hour. And it would be like, the most milquetoast nothing thing. I did a video about Alex Jones getting banned, and that got put in restricted mode within like an hour. So somebody was watching my channel and mass flagging all my videos. It's very suspicious that it started right after I did that series on her, completely picking her apart. And this lasted for like months. For like, even when I took a clip from JF's channel of David Duke talking about Jared Taylor, and even that, like, it would get flagged and restricted within like an hour, and then when I would delete it and put it back up, it would be restricted again. But it would be completely allowed on JF's channel, so it didn't make any sense. And the only way that was possible is if somebody who was mad at something that I was doing was on my channel and flagging it non-stop. And this went on for about a month or so. That's probably when my channel got blacklisted for termination, which is why it was one of the channels that was completely wiped during the purge. You also had the Thulian perspective was purged, and Brother Nathaniel was purged. And to get down to it, I think that Steven Crowder is complicit to what this is actually about. I think Steven Crowder he released a tweet where he said, oh, I talked to the YouTube staff and I'm afraid to say that the purge is definitely real. But yet, Steven Crowder himself, he got the guy who this was all about, he was remonetized. And the channels that were removed had absolutely nothing to do with his, homophobic jokes. It was all World War II and Holocaust revisionism and anything that was a little bit too heavy on the Jewish lobby. And I think that my personal opinion is that Steven Crowder is completely complicit in it, to the extent that he is complicit with the false pretext of what's really going on. I think he knows what's actually going on and he's playing along, because he's that kind of fraud. And then you have all of these channels that are going around talking about, oh, I'm under attack because I was demonetized. My channel was never available for monetization. And I personally think that these guys like Steven Crowder they're such frauds that they're actually complicit with what's actually going on with these latest purges. And that's all I gotta say about that. Check out my Vaporwave channel, Wave, and check me out on Bitchute. And as for, I will get back to uploading stuff more often here soon. In the next couple of days, I'll more than likely try and have that abortion video that I was going to edit up. It's going to be a good video. I think I made it kind of funny, but I got to spice it up and edit it together and all of that. But thanks for your support.